And I did everything right while I was pregnant with him. I ate my veggies, I took my vitamins, I even craved fruit smoothies when I was pregnant with him. He was born June 30th at 5:30 at night, and by 11 o'clock he was being transported.
Right after Ryan was born, he immediately was in distress. He was not getting oxygenated blood from his heart, from his lungs to his heart, because of restriction and a narrowing of the pulmonary artery.
The following morning, after a cardiac catheterization, we got a diagnosis of tetralogy of Fallot.
We knew after his first operation that his repairs were not going to last a lifetime, that his heart was going to grow, that his body was going to grow, and eventually they would have to perform another surgery after that, and maybe multiple surgeries.
The second surgery was a really big surgery because they then placed the pulmonary valve. And unfortunately, within 18 months, his aortic valve calcified, and he was back in the OR.
The second time I was told I was going to have a surgery, I was 11. I didn't really get it. 11 isn't old enough to understand how big of a deal that this was going to be. The third time, it was like you see in the movies. My mom and I went to my annual checkup with our cardiologist, and he sat down and looked at me and told me, "Son, you're sick. We have to operate." And it was very scary. It was a very sobering moment. Like in an instant, everything changes. Like the whole world sort of stood still for a second, and it was scary leading up to it. But I also, my dad told me this really good quote from Abraham Lincoln, that a man is only as happy or as sad as he chooses to be. So I chose to go with that mindset of I'm going to face this with as positive of an attitude as I can. And with the support of my friends and family, I was able to do that quite effectively. And the pact was, and I remember telling my family before I walked in that day, was I'm going to walk in here and I'm going to walk out. And I did. My journey to college was incredible, to say the very least. I was a part of the marching band in high school, which is a legend in of itself. My time in band was probably one of the most treasured things I acquired in the past 5 years. Also, I became an Eagle Scout, which I know was going to help me hopefully get into college, and I also learned a lot about life through scouting. And I did a tour here at ECU, and it was the only campus of the ones that I toured that I really felt at home at. I had this really good home sense when I was walking around the campus. The main message I really wanted to send out, and the takeaway from this whole story, is how lucky I am and how thankful I am to have lived this glorious life that I've lived for my 4 years in marching band, where I came from being sick and then was able to be a part of something bigger than myself, was able to contribute myself to something, made friendships that I'll never forget. And it was only 4 years, and it was a small legacy that we left behind, but man, it seemed like it was something extraordinary. Just absolutely fell in love with this guy's work. His name is John Green, and I read his book, Looking for Alaska, and one of the quotes in that book just kind of is one I live by, and it goes, "We need never be hopeless because we can never be irreparably broken." And I just couldn't agree with that more. I have been through a lot, but I've endured it with my family and my friends. And there's no need to lose hope, because I know that in a sense, we are all just as indestructible as we believe ourselves to be. So, yeah, I am really lucky. I'm really thankful. And that's my message to everybody else. If you start to lose hope, or you start to feel it kind of slip out of your hands, just understand that we need never be hopeless, because we can never be irreparably